This is our boat here in Cape May. We're getting ready for our trip down to Florida. It's a 64-foot enclosed bridge Viking Sportfish. And Kate and I are running the boat down, just the two of us. Here we are pulling into Ocean City, Maryland on our first day of the journey. Actually our second, and I'll explain that in a minute. Hello, my name is Tom.
And I'm Kate.
And this is actually day 2 of our first journey as part of the Big Game Theory podcast. So I have a book coming out called Big Game Theory, and it makes a lot of analogies between business and boating. And we wanted to track our trip from Cape May, New Jersey to Stewart, Florida as part of that podcast and make those correlations on the trip, and also going to kind of document our journey. I say today was day 2. We came from Cape May, New Jersey to Sunset Marina in Ocean City, Maryland. Yesterday was actually day 1, and Kate, maybe you can talk about what happened yesterday?
Our power steering went out. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, we went out of the inlet. We just had our new dash put in the flybridge. Another Garmin 24-inch display and a new autopilot, Garmin autopilot. So we had that installed, and we were going to go out and do the sea trial wizard. And as soon as we left the inlet, I knew we were in trouble because I had no steering whatsoever. I basically had to steer with the throttles, and I tried to troubleshoot it, but it was too rough. There was 3 to 5, 4 to 6 footers out in the ocean, and I couldn't get the compressor going and hook up all the lines up to pump up the pressure, which I thought was the issue, which it was. So we turned around, went back to the dock, hooked up the compressor, hooked up all the lines, pumped it up to 25 or 30 pounds, and called Josh, who's our mechanic, and you can read about him in our book. He is a very dependable mechanic. And when I explained the situation, I tried to do the dockside wizard, but there was a couple issues because it's a custom installation. So he came back down early this morning, got on the boat, did the dockside wizard, came out with us into the ocean a couple miles. We did the sea trial wizard. Everything worked well. We dropped him back off at the marina and headed down here. And everything was going smoothly. The autopilot is working better than I expected. It followed the track perfectly, which is a big improvement over the old Robertson, which had to have a bunch of waypoints, which was really frustrating to work with. This will just follow our track seamlessly, and it took us right out the inlet, down the coast, and into Ocean City. However, on this trip, maybe a few miles offshore, we were taking a lot of spray because how big do you think the waves were?
3 to 5.
That's about right, 3 to 5, and they were short. Weren't big swells, they were short chops. So we were taking a lot of spray, and the windshield wipers were working overtime, put it that way. And of course, the center windshield wiper broke. I heard a couple noises and it broke. And I'll put pictures up of it here. It's a dual windshield wiper where there's 2 arms and there's a bar that goes between them, and the ball joint on the one arm snapped, which in turn put too much pressure on the one shaft, and that snapped and nothing works. And I was going to grab parts from one of the other wipers and put it on there, but it's a welded assembly. I couldn't do it. So we had no option. I had to order a whole new assembly, which I don't know when that'll be in. And I wasn't sure how we were going to proceed because it's convenient to look out the front windshield. You need to see what's going on. You need to see crab pots and things like that when we're down in the Chesapeake. And we came up with a temporary solution, and we'll put some pictures of that here. I'll show the broken.
Yeah, but we're also in an enclosed bridge.
Yeah, we're in an enclosed bridge, so I can't see anything. And when that windshield gets covered with salt water, you can't see out of it. So I was basically looking out the other windshields, the side windshields, to see where we were going, which is not good. So we came up with a temporary solution that we can clean that windshield when it gets really dirty, especially when we get close to where we're docking, so I have decent visibility. And it's a jury rig, but it worked. And we'll see how well it works. We did it tonight. or this afternoon when we got in, and we're going to give it a try tomorrow. Old-fashioned method. As you can see here, that's the center windshield. I showed you the broken assembly already, so it will not work, but it's easy to move by hand. So when he came up here and saw it was easy to move, I took monofilament, attached it to the windshield, or the windshield wiper, ran it over here to a pulley, and then down here to where Kate is my new windshield wiper motor. And what she can do by pulling on the mono, and like I said, we're not going to do this often, just when it gets so bad I can't see through it, but you can see with the new motor, Kate, we will be able to clean the windshield. So tonight we're going to get to bed early, wake up at the crack of dawn and get an early start, because we're going to try to make it to Coinjock, where we have to go from Ocean City, Maryland down into Norfolk, start the ICW, and then get through the Great Lock, which is the Great Lock Bridge is only opening every 2 hours now on the even hour. We have to hit that and then go through the lock itself, which has been jam-packed, and we don't want to get stuck waiting 4 hours for that. So we're going to try to get out of here early, get down there late morning so we can get through and then make it down the extra 30 some miles to Coinjock Marina and get a prime rib as our reward. And
Oh, this is our first time here at Sunset Marina.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is really, really nice, very clean. And we eat at a restaurant called Shark something.
Sharky's, I think, across the street.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was good. And we're planning on doing the Ocean City White Marlin Open next year here. So it'll be interesting coming back. At least I know the in and out of the inlet. It's a pretty tight inlet, but
yeah,
it was pretty uneventful.
Pilot did a good job.
Yeah, the autopilot took us right through. We were tracking or testing it out, and it follows that track really well. And just on the theme of big game theory, it's like business. Things don't go as planned all the time, and you just have to roll with the tide and make changes and adapt as you go along. So we made a good decision, I think, yesterday to turn around and get it done right. I was going to try to do the Wizard myself, but Josh has done it many times. He got it done very quickly this morning and got us on our way. And we had that other issue with the windshield, and I think we have a temporary fix for that. Once we get in the ICW, we won't have to worry about taking spray too much until we get to Pimlico Sound, where that can get choppy once in a while. And it's supposed to be heavy seas tomorrow. I think there's small craft warnings in effect, but we should be okay if we leave early enough before the wind kicks up in the afternoon. So that was our first 2 days of the journey, and we will give you an update tomorrow morning. We'll try to videotape us leaving the marina and show you all the beautiful custom boats that are here. We went through our morning checklist. I'll put a screenshot of that up. And now Kate's just getting the last line. Use the bow thruster to get her over closer. Now we are good to go.
Beautiful, Marla.
We are on our way to Coinjock. We just left Ocean City, Maryland. I wanted to show my new electronics. We just installed a second 24-inch Garmin, so now I've got two on the center section. This is going to be my engine room cameras and miscellaneous cameras. I usually run Navionics or Aquamap on my iPad and my phone. And as you can see, I've got some combo screens set up. It's really working well. And that's our back camera. Finally got that working again. And this is my new autopilot. I love it. I tracked this right out of the inlet this morning, followed the route perfectly, and I'm assuming it's going to keep working that way. I might have to adjust the center rudder a little bit, but it's really fine. And here you can see the mono that we attached to our broken center windshield wiper. Thankfully this morning we left. It's a beautifully calm day and we don't need windshield wipers yet, but hope it stays this way till we get to Norfolk. You can see Kate down there. We're the first boat into the Great Bridge lock. Let us in at 20 after 2. And they're still waiting for more southbound boats to come in. You can see the entrance to the lock down there. And the front doors are closed. 71%. Right next to highlight. We missed the 2 o'clock opening of the Great Bridge, and it only opens every 2 hours on the even hour, so we could not make it to Coin Jock today, but we stopped here at Centerville Marina. They gave us a slip right on the fuel dock, and there's no restaurants within walking distance, so Kate is making us some George Foreman hamburgers and some vegetables with the condiments, so we are set. And it was a nice relaxing time in the lock. We had an hour or so to sit in the lock waiting for the rest of the boats to come in. And then it was a quick trip here from the Great Lock. And I got to smoke a cigar while we were sitting in there. So it turned out pretty well. Tomorrow morning we have to leave at 6 a.m. So the Centerville Bridge will let us through because it closes from 6 to 8:30 for rush hour. That's why we couldn't go through today, because it closed from 4 to 6:30 p.m. for the afternoon rush hour, and we would not be able to make it to Coin Jock after 6 o'clock. It's too dark and too far. So here we are at Centerville having our gourmet meal, and we'll check in tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I'm in the cockpit now. I just showed you a video of our dinner, our impromptu dinner here at Centerville, and I explained that we had a couple changes in plan today because of rough conditions, and we missed a couple bridges where they're doing maintenance on them. They only open every couple of hours instead of on demand. And I wanted to bring it back to the big game theory and relate it to business, which I always try to do when I'm running a boat. I don't try to do it, I naturally do it. So when conditions change, you have to be able to adapt. Any good business will do that, and any good business people will do that. And we did it today on the boat. We slowed down when the seas got rough, and we changed our destination to Centerville at the bridge right here, because this bridge closed at 4 o'clock for rush hour, so we couldn't get any further because it's dark by now. And it ended up working out well. We had a nice dinner. We found a great marina where they made a space for us, and things are great. We'll make a 109-mile trip tomorrow to Belhaven, which we really like. We've been there a few times, and things are going to work out wonderful. And it just so happens that in business, a similar situation is going on. In my consulting business, we've been working very hard on getting production more efficient so we can double our business. So we've been working on 5S, lean manufacturing, Kanban systems, and other things in production to gear up for doubling the size of the business. However, recently, orders have slowed down. So what we're going to do is something that I have a chapter in my book about, appreciative inquiry. When things get tough and you face deliveries that are behind schedule or low bookings like this, it's best to put people where their strengths are. And a lot of times you'll take a great machine operator, on a production line and make him a foreman, and he or she doesn't really like it. They'd rather be operating a machine where they feel productive. Same thing happens in sales very often, where you take the best salesperson and make him or her a sales manager, and they do an adequate job, but they're best at selling. And what we're going to do at the business where I'm doing the consulting is take the sales manager, who is an outstanding salesperson, and send him back out on the road to handle one of the territories, so he can focus solely on booking new business. And I will temporarily take over the sales meetings and generate the reports and set up the CRM the way I've done it in the past, which is really good. It keeps the sales team accountable. It tracks all the activity in the CRM and makes it very easy to manage and gives you good, quick snapshots of bookings, proposals, pipeline, and backlog. So just like today, didn't go as planned, but it worked out very well. In business, it's not going as we planned, but I believe that making these changes is going to benefit the company overall. We're going to find out that the sales CRM and the sales meetings are probably going to get a lot more efficient, because I'm really good at that. I'm not great at selling because I don't know the product line as well as the existing sales team does, but I'm very good at organizing things. So I have a feeling this is going to work out very well, and I'm looking forward to seeing some great results from it. We will check in tomorrow morning. Kate and I are going to get up at 5 a.m., get the boat ready, get ready to untie here at just before 6, and head down to Belhaven and get there in time for a nice dinner in Belhaven, where we really enjoy it. Okay, this is one of my favorite parts of the trip to Florida. We just passed Coin Jock, and we're in the ICW, and it's just so serene and so beautiful. I will try to get a video to capture some of it, but we're doing about 10.5 knots and taking our time, and I'll show you an image of what we're looking at. Totally alone. Beautiful. And Kate's beautiful. Right now we're in the Alligator River. I love this canal. Nice long straight canal. We just passed a bunch of boats and we're following another cruiser. I think it's a Marlowe, doing about 8-9 knots, and we're just relaxing, following him, and we'll be at Belhaven in about an hour or so. This is a very beautiful canal. This is the Marlowe we were following. Beautiful 57. We met these people in Beaufort later. This is the town of Belhaven. Really great place to stop. And this is the restaurant, Spoon River. Very popular. Excellent food. You can see how nice it is inside. And this is us walking back to the boat after dinner. Belhaven's a really nice spot. A lot of people stop there. Very popular, great gas. And this is Gus's boat from In Too Deep, his old boat. Today is day 4 of our trip from Cape May to Stewart, Florida. And we left Belhaven this morning, and we're heading towards Beaufort. We're not sure if we're going to stop there or not. We're going to call later, see if they have a slip. Hey, we're in Beaufort, North Carolina. There's the boat out there. Got a good slip right on the T-head. Now we're gonna walk through town and get dinner. We are at Beaufort docks right now. We're getting ready. It's 5:30. Getting ready to head out of here as soon as daylight comes. And we're gonna head straight to Charleston in the ocean. We have everything on except the generators and the engine. Our checklist is done. Kate's putting away the fenders, and we're just waiting for these guys to get up. We're all gonna head out of here together. They said 5:30, but I guess they were out late last night. So we're waiting for them. And then we will be on our way. We got a 7.5 hour ride to Charleston. I don't like the way that flag's blowing out there, but we'll see what it looks like when we get out in the ocean. If it's too rough, we'll tuck into probably Wrightsville and go to the ICW. We left Beaufort at daybreak, and we decided with a bunch of other boats that were docking with us to head straight to Charleston on the outside. So it's about 2 to 3s, 2 to 4s. We're doing 23 knots, and our ETA is 336. And hopefully we get a slip at the mega dock in Charleston. Okay, we're at the mega dock, as you can see. All these giant boats around. We came from Beaufort, North Carolina, straight to Charleston, 210 miles. And just finished washing the boat, getting ready for dinner. Now we're walking up to the complimentary van to take us into town. We're gonna find some place to eat. Check in soon. Gathering information is critical. We're here at Charleston, and we've met a bunch of people on the trip so far. One of the guys we met left early this morning in the ocean. We were thinking about going in the ocean, and he sent me a text saying, don't come out today. It's 4-foot seas at a 4-second period, which is very choppy. He's gonna tuck in and go on the inside. So we're gonna start off staying on the inside. And I talked to some people that were docked around us. One gentleman has a Celine that draws 6 feet, and he's taking the inside route today. So I feel comfortable taking a calm day, staying inside, and making a decision based on the best information that we've got with our newly found network of people. Just like in business. This is a picture of us waiting to dock at Skull Creek, and this is a picture of the other boats we were traveling with. And here we are the next morning on our way to Jekyll Harbor. Saw a bald eagle on the way as we're approaching Jekyll Harbor. Now just approaching Jekyll Harbor Marina. We looked at all the weather forecasts this morning. We were going to try to go offshore from Skull Creek to St. Augustine, but it was blowing. 25 knots, gusts in the 30s out of the northwest. We were going to try to stay close to shore, but even on the ICW, we were taking a lot of spray. It's really windy today. So this was a good decision. We changed our reservation from today to tomorrow for St. Augustine. So if it lays down a little bit tonight, we'll head out in the ocean and get down there quickly. Maybe even go a little past St. Augustine if we can. And if not, we will do the ICW on the next leg and check in at St. Augustine, one of our favorite spots. Need to buy some cigars there. This is our entire flotilla group after dinner at Jekyll Harbor Marina. And Kate and I took a frigid golf cart ride into town right before we left in the morning. What a beautiful spot. We left Jekyll Island this morning. We stayed there last night. We couldn't make it, obviously, for St. Augustine doing the ICW, so we stayed at Jekyll Island. It was a really nice marina. Had a nice dinner. That's seagulls. And now we went about 17 miles on the ICW south, and we're going out the first inlet south of Jekyll Island. I'm not sure what it is, but we're heading out now, and we're going to check out the ocean today. If it's nice, we're just going to take the final part of this voyage right off the beach and go down to St. Augustine. We should be there by 2:30. All right, we came through the inlet. The ocean's really nice. It's maybe a 1 to 3 feet, but it's a following sea, so we're getting a really nice ride. So we're going to continue down to St. Augustine. And one of the other things I wanted to mention is last night a bunch of the guys in our group were working on their chart plotter, uploading the maps for Florida, and they were having an issue, and they called Garmin, and Garmin found out that they had another 8K or 8 gigabyte card in one of the other machines, and that's what was causing their issues. So I came back to the boat and looked at our stuff, and there was an 8 gigabyte card in one of the other Garmins, so I took it out and I reformatted the original active captain card, and I was able to update all the software and all the charts on my machines. It hadn't been updated since June because it's been locked up, and that's probably why. So now my instruments are up to date, and we're headed to St. Augustine. To St. Augustine. We're just heading out now to go to the cigar shop, take a walk through town, then go to dinner at where? Saints.
It's a new place.
Okay. Came from walking through town. I stocked up on cigars, got us a bunch of cigars for the rest of the flotilla, and we're heading back to the boat now. Love St. Augustine. Great spot to stop. Checking in, this is our last day. Headed to Stewart from St. Augustine. We left at 7:30 a.m. this morning. Caught the bridge opening at the Bridge of Lions, and we're headed to Stewart. We left our flotilla group back in St. Augustine. They're going to go to Cape Canaveral today. They're taking their time on this last leg. We're going to head straight down today and tie up. And I just wanted to say we had a great dinner last night. The name of the restaurant was Saints, right on the main street there in St. Augustine, and great service, great food, and Kate had the short rib bolognese, and it was the best she's ever had, so we will definitely be back. We went into Fort Pierce
because it was rough outside and Kate wasn't feeling well. So we went to Fort Pierce, and now we're taking the ICW down to Stewart. Nice calm ride.
With the boat safely tied up in Stewart, Kate and I hopped on the tiki taxi and headed into Stewart for a nice dinner. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more adventures on the Big Game Theory channel.